pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fanning, second by Councilman Deason to approve the financial report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
No.
Approval of the September 9th, 2024 town board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Fanning to approve the September 9th meeting minutes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Fire Department report from Timothy Ekdahl. Your Stafford Volunteer Fire Department has answered 34 calls in the month of September. Included were many EMS calls, 3 structure fires, 2 MVA, and 4 miscellaneous fire service calls for assistance. The department members also completed 40 man-hours of training in September. Topics included hose line advancement, SCBA confidence and water rescue skills with the help of God to respond. As fall time approaches, check the batteries on your smoke detectors and CO alarm. Please stay safe. Tim Ekdahl, Fire Chief, Stafford Fire Department. Any questions? Motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Fanning to approve the Fire Department report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Yeah, okay. Code and zoning report. Any questions? A motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Deason to approve the code and zoning report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The Assessor's report. I attended the Assessor's annual conference in Fairport from September 23rd to the 26th to get my allotted 12 hours of annual training credits. Residents are starting to return their exemption renewal applications. So far, it's been a steady flow. last year, the county increased the maximum limited income senior calculation of $24,900 to $32,200 on a sliding scale. It is my recommendation that the town follow what the county has done. This would require amending our local law from 2003. I have reached out to the county and asked if they could share their verbiage with us so that we could match what they have said. If the board decides to take action on this, it has to be done by the first of the year so that I have time to notify the residents by the end of January. They have a March 1st deadline to apply. Any questions? Motion to approve.
So we had, Barb, we have some issue with that? Are we good?
No,
We have to amend the law?
we do have to amend the law, but I did not find a 2003 law.
No.
I found a 1977 law that was amended already in 1997. So we need to find out what 2003 law is and go with that. So next month we'll have more information.
So this is something we're gonna have to table until we find out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I make a motion we table this until we get more information.
Second?
Table the report, or?
Well, we've got, this thing says a local law from 2003, and we haven't been able to find that.
No, I took it out.
No. I'm asking we table this 1977 local law number 1, which that's what this is, or are we tabling just the approval of the report?
Approval. Well, it's her recommendation that we do this. I'm not opposed to it. I think we just better find out which law. Do we have to make a new law?
Probably.
Fine.
There's no second.
Is this something you talked to the lawyer about, Barb?
Yes.
It is.
He's got to get us the wording.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to table this by Councilman Young. Is there a second?
Second.
Annie? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? I have to schedule a public hearing for the budget. It's gotta be done before.
It's gotta be done before we find it.
That's one of them.
We've got any information on top of
We need to schedule a public hearing for the budget, okay? Any questions or anything you want?
No, we have to do it. It's just a matter of a date. Right?
You really should do it at the next meeting. You should have a public hearing before the meeting so that it's done in the right sequence.
Excuse me. We don't have to do it before then?
You don't have to, you could.
Usually you do it like 7 o'clock. And the board meeting's at 7:30.
It's up to you guys. That's the latest you should have it.
I've never seen us do anything else.
But you want to have it on a special night.
I've never been to one, so I can't tell you how many comments and things that there is at one of those, so I guess it can't be much help to you.
Are we gonna get a copy of it this time? The proposed budget before the budget meeting? The hearing?
I was told 5 copies and 5 copies are out.
5 copies are out? There's no more copies? Can
The one at the counter.
I ask who got the other 5 copies? Maybe I can get one from them?
Gary got one.
Oh, okay.
Laurie, Judge. Who else?
The judge.
Judge Pocock.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Terry Mead's got one, and one for the counter.
Oh, okay.
And public hearing for the budget will be what's the next meeting?
Do you need a motion for that?
Yes.
All right, I make a motion that we hold our public hearing for the upcoming budget at, what's the date of it?
November 11th.
Thank you. The November 11th meeting at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Panic, second by Councilman Keesling. Schedule a public hearing for the budget of government 11/17. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 10, FEMA study for new floodplains in Stafford. I don't know where that would be.
I've talked with Bill Van Alst about this. I asked him where it is, and he said they don't have an address available. So Gary Snell's house might be in it, my house might be in it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll be in it.
There's supposed to be more information coming out on it. I think the residents in this town should know what's going on before they make the final decision.
It comes right up to Doug's house,
Yeah, I don't know where
about
it is.
50 feet the other side of his house. They can't cut a tree or do anything in there, not supposed to anyway.
But it's not a flood zone, is it? I thought it was,
Because they wanted to put a driveway in there up further. They can't do it until they get a permit from
yeah, I thought it was protected wetlands.
we've seen the water come across there before. Across that road. When it come across Route 5 up here that time, remember?
It's been in my basement too.
Well, apparently they've come up with some idea that there should be more floodplains in Stafford.
If it comes to your and our house, we got.
I'm not sure that that's,
No, I don't.
and on top of that, the people in this town should know. All of a sudden, their house is gonna be in it, and you know what their insurance rate's gonna do?
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, so,
Or no insurance.
yeah, or none.
Nah.
So we need to find out some addresses, and the people whose addresses are in the new floodplain zones can go to a hearing and complain about it.
Yeah, I should have a map right here.
Yeah, they don't have it.
But I know it comes up 50, 75 feet from Doug's house, because he was gonna do something there, and DEC says, no, that's a floodplain, you can't.
You know. Well, according to the report, the ones that were in it aren't in it, and the new ones are in it.
I don't know why they want new ones.
I don't know either.
They have to
They
table
took
it.
out 5 and
Yeah,
added 33.
yeah. So this is ongoing. Bill didn't even have any addresses. He said as soon as they come out with addresses, he would let us know.
It's gotta affect your insurance.
We'll get more water, yeah.
Yeah, like you won't get it.
Honda's going dry, but the floodplain's coming up.
Just table it till the next time.
Yeah, there was some dates that was put in there that they had, I don't know. Once they make it final, he said it'd be very hard to change their mind.
What do you get a hold of? Soil and water? Or-
Should be county planning department.
Yeah,
They would have an old
Oh,
map, but they won't have an updated map. It's the
Yeah,
updated map that you need.
They should be getting the same letters we're getting
the
from.
old,
Yeah.
the old flood hazard maps will no longer be used. It's certainly a concern for 33 residents in this town.
Well, they say, I didn't look it up, but you can view the draft data online at FEMA Region 2 Draft Flood Hazard Viewer.
I tried it a couple
I
times.
tried
Did
it.
you try it?
I tried
Learned
it.
I
nothing.
didn't try it.
No, I tried that. So we're sitting on a wait and see. Well, that's probably all we need, right? We don't, I mean,
There's nothing to do.
about it yet.
Okay, the next,
No, I mean,
Well, on that last one, do you think there's any value in asking Bill to come to the?
no, until you get the info from the FEMA, there's,
He said he would let us know as soon as he got it.
they kinda got their hands full right now.
all right, resolution 61, obligating ARPA fund. Whereas the United States Congress has adopted the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and it has become a law, and whereas Section 603 of the ARPA provides for financial assistance for counties, cities, and non-entitlement units of local government for eligible expenses in accordance with the final rule issued by the U.S. Department of Treasury. And whereas the town receives $238,768.51 that was distributed in equal tranches, half in 2021 and $119,384.26, and the remaining half in 2022, $119,384.25. And whereas the federal treasury has issued guidance on how the town can utilize the funding, with funds having to be obligated by the end of 2024 and spent by the end of 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the Stafford Town Board hereby obligates American Rescue Plan Act funds, coronavirus, state and local fiscal recovery funds from the U.S. Department of the Treasury in a total amount of $238,768.51, plus the interest accrued, the money not covered by the ARPA funds for the tractor will be financed by bond. Carpet and flooring for town hall, $34,469. Playground equipment, $58,999.29. Resurfacing tennis court and basketball courts, $4,435. Town hall paving, $47,000. Door replacement at park, $3,625. Cement replacement at park, $26,000. Mower, $59,375. John Deere tractor, $134,155.93, totaling $368,059.18. Any questions?
I'd say that's a little over our 238,000 we had.
But you're gaining interest all the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure we're gonna get $130,000 in interest on $238,000.
Yeah, the remainder of that, Terry, we can just bond for the tractor.
How much interest did we make on that money so far?
Would have to ask our clerks.
I'm not sure. Without the tractor, we're at 234,000, right? Steve?
Yeah,
What was the cost of that tractor?
$134,155.
And that goes to the highway, the tractor goes to the highway, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, where does that money come into, the general fund or to the highway fund? Oh, question, if your money, that amount of money's coming in the general fund, why are you buying highway equipment?
Well, you can transfer it from,
Oh, you transferred it over to highway,
Yeah, because that money can be used for everything.
oh, for anything, okay.
And if you look at the history, we got pasted on sales tax that year, so the amount of money lost is real.
No, I just,
And Steve stepped up with, not only did he have one less person, he cut his budget by $160,000 that year. So if you look at it from his end, he's just getting back what budget he gave up,
what he lost.
basically to float. Because now, before, we would self-finance our trucks, and now we're doing bonds on our trucks. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. As far as my opinion, I'm sorry, Steve.
No, go ahead.
As long as these are items that had a strongly likelihood of being budgeted out over the next few years, I'm in favor of that, to try to keep the budget down.
Now, the lawnmower you bought that out of your money or out of town?
My money.
Your
Summer.
money.
Winter money.
Now you're getting reimbursed from the general fund for that? No, that tractor's not gonna do anything on the highway. That's for lawn mowing lawns.
Yeah. Basically, we've made about 26,000 in interest.
26,000 in
Basic,
interest?
it's rough math, don't take it to heart, but, and that was as of September 30th. So by the time you obligate this money, come say next June, July, start paying the bills, you should get another quite a chunk, so.
It's in the budget for next year, you put down 0 for equipment, machinery.
We'll probably just bond stuff from here on out, Gary. Almost all the towns are bonding
Now
now,
you gotta buy.
just
You can't-
because,
You can't go without buying something.
you know, it's not like it was 20 years ago when you want something, you just,
But I was just questioning like the lawnmower, I mean, that's a general fund piece of equipment, actually. The general fund bought the other lawnmowers that we mowed the lawns with. And on that, as far as I know, it's supposed to be charged, when you mow the lawn, it's supposed to be charged back to general fund, that money put in your budget.
yeah, we get charged back at the end of
But
the
you
year.
charge back,
Yeah,
okay.
so.
Again, I would have preferred just and I'm not gonna beat a dead horse, I've mentioned it every meeting. I would have preferred just to have it where we replace the revenues we lost, which, and then just budget as the years go out. But they want something, government wants something reported back that they can show, so.
Could we ask for maybe a PA system so it's easier? Is that something that could go towards that fund? That's only a couple $1,000s to get a PA system in here so we can hear people better.
They do have one.
Yeah, but that's the courts,
Well,
isn't
you
it?
can just go up there and use it.
No, I asked them, I asked the judges and they told me no.
That'd be up to them guys. They own the building.
well, that was the idea of raising the bench back there is so we could sit up there.
Yeah. Talk
And
about
we
it.
tried that once, it didn't work,
Didn't.
no.
Well, Bob said that what he was worried about is there's some information on some of that
Yeah,
you gotta be careful with.
but as far as being able to hear, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people here. I
Well,
mean,
you're talking when you have a crowd, it is hard to hear back there.
well, yeah, so don't sit back there, you know?
Yeah, sit up here.
Yeah,
Think about it. If it's gonna be a big enough crowd where you can't hear, we're gonna be in here. And if we already have a PA system in here, buying another one just because they don't want us to touch it.
You don't have to use their PA system, I use the speaker. You get a little thing, plug it into those speakers, all you gotta do.
I mean, the best place to have this meeting is in the conference
Oh,
room.
yeah, or you're right close by, yeah.
Yeah, let's ask the judges again. I can't see buying something new if it's already just sitting
There
here.
must be more than one channel on that thing, I would think.
Has any more thought been given to the electronic sign out front? To announce the meetings and what's going on in town?
It's on the agenda.
Oh, is it?
All right, now, the resolution obligating the ARP funds, is there a motion to do this or not, or?
I'd like to see us stay in our money that we have. 238,000 plus 20 or whatever. I don't know why we're doing 368 on a $238,000 ARPA fund.
Well, all it would mean is that
That's plus the interest accrued.
it already says in the
I know, but
resolution
still.
that
Yeah, we'll just bond the remainder
yeah,
when we get to the end, because we won't know what we get.
the money not covered by the ARP funds for the tractor will be financed by a bond. So it is in there. And we really can't say until, because we'll still be collecting interest till we do these projects, so we don't have a hard number to put in there except what the cost of the tractor would be. So there's really no superior way to fill this out except the way it is.
Because some of this may come in less. I mean.
Or more?
Or more, right. I mean, you don't, I mean, we estimated the blacktop cost, but do we know what the price of oil is gonna be come next June?
That's right, yeah.
Well, we're
That's
gonna,
a
we're gonna end up,
$30,000, $40,000 question.
we're gonna
You
end
know.
up having to budget these things anyways.
Right.
And it'll be a fund transfer in the budget, so.
Hopefully oil will come down
You're fine.
in 2 years.
And we'll run the asphalt plant with electric.
Yeah.
Have we,
Oh, boy.
have you gotten bids on these other things like the carpeting and stuff, or
Yeah,
is that just,
yeah,
oh, so you got bids on
We
those?
got bids, and we have to have signed contracts by the end of the year, so it's kind of why we're trying to move this thing through in order to get these things signed by the end of the year.
I mean, because some of the playground equipment, I mean, you're talking 20, could be 20 weeks out. Even if you called tomorrow and said, let's order it,
Well,
You may not see it till
got a
midsummer.
3 years for it.
so.
I see in the budget, they put no money in there for any maintenance or, not maintenance, but anything new, not equipment, but like painting the fence and, I think the fence ought to be painted next year. That ought to be in the budget. I mean, you took all those trees out, that looks good, there's a lot more that should come out eventually, but.
Although a good idea, that probably will have to go to next year's budget.
I
I said it's a good idea, but probably have to go to next year's budget.
You got more money for Emery Park than you got for or Islet Park than you do for Emery Park.
Okay, let's see.
As far as the sign, Kathy, I think we should still talk about that, and we may have money in here for that.
Okay.
And I talked with a woman today about putting some, it's not AstroTurf, but it's turf underneath the new playground instead of the stones and dirt that's there, especially if we're gonna have some that are handicap accessible playground area. And she's gonna meet me Thursday or Friday to see how much something like that would cost. We might be able to put that in here too. But for years, it's not been the right material to put underneath a kid's playground.
Wasn't there a edging around there where all the stone just falls? I thought there was like a
I
black
don't think there's
edging.
an edging. I just know that the stones end up in the urinals, they end up on the
Well,
sidewalk.
that was, those stones were recommended, though, the state recommended
Back
corn
then.
cobs or pea gravel
Yeah,
or something, I forgot what the other thing was.
yeah. I
The
don't
pea
doubt,
gravel
I
is,
don't doubt that you're right, but
yeah,
we got a different time now.
yeah.
And in particular, a child with a wheelchair, you're not gonna run them across
Yeah,
the
kids
stones.
can't walk in it even with it if they're
Yeah,
handicapped.
so that's something I would like to see maybe put in here. We don't have the information on it yet. Sounds like we may have some interest money left to do that, and we can still do that.
Will somebody make a motion to, this is item number 11, the resolution 61. I don't hear anybody.
Oh, for crying out loud. Even though I wasn't as enthusiastic about this as others, I'll make the motion. Make a motion to obligate rescue fan funds to the following list: carpet and flooring, 34,000; playground equipment, 58,000; resurfacing tennis courts, 4,000; town hall paving, 47,000; door replacement, 3,600; cement replacement at park, 26,000; mower, 59,375, basically 60,000; and the new tractor at 134,155, which will be financed on a bond for the balance of it.
Is there a second?
I'm not in favor of the carpet one.
Speak up.
I'm not in favor of the carpet one.
Did you hear that down there, Ron?
Yes. Well, that's fine. I'm not in great enthusiasm of the carpet one, but.
If we pass this, do we have to spend that money for these items? Or can it be changed?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't think they come back and
Yeah.
audit it, but you never know.
Does it have to be spent within that 1 year, or can you carry it over at all?
2 years.
2 years?
2 years, yeah.
But it has to be earmarked
Yeah, I know, that's where they get you.
December.
Yeah.
Well, we've had it since 21, so they've given you,
But they're not gonna come and say,
4
you bought a
years.
yellow tractor instead of a green one.
No, they're,
No, and it's not a
Like I
bid,
said,
it's not a
To be
bid
obligated
basis
by the
either.
end of 2024 and spent by the end of 2026.
We could ignore.
Actually, we've had it since 21, thinking that we could just put it against the revenue lost. And it's just recently that we were being told by Municipal Solutions that you have to assign it to something.
they want to see where their money went and what caused the inflation.
In the future, can, a note go out to the townspeople to suggest, you know, what they might want to see improved in the town?
This, all of this is on
Well, plus that's something that you can do every year at the budget.
Yeah, but you don't get a lot of money like this.
Hopefully you never get it again.
Did you have to bid that tractor?
It's on a state contract.
Can't we just take that work carpet out of there and use flooring for the town hall until we decide exactly what should be replaced?
Well, again, yeah, and I said it probably 10 minutes ago, are these all items that we would have budgeted? Now, the tractor, the mower, the playground equipment, I know those were all, and even the resurfacing of the tennis court, those were all ones that I know were being discussed to go on the budget. The carpet, the town hall paving, and the cement replacement, I hadn't heard much discussion on before we were told we had to assign it. So, it's kind of why I asked, does everybody feel these were budgeting items we're gonna budget?
As we had talked about before, this place doesn't have a leach field. Maybe put a leach field in.
I talked to calls about that. Said depending on the ground out there, you could be anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000. And you'd have to have a pump off the tanks. If the tanks, he said the tanks have been here since day one, he doesn't know the condition of them, he may have to replace tanks. So it's a pretty big expense. Considering we only spend, how much a year, $2,000 a year to pump the tanks?
so far it's been cheaper to do that than.
Oh, yeah.
And if you do put a leach field out, you're gonna have to tie in the post office with it.
Yes, both of them. And of course, that would increase the size or whatever they need to do. But I did talk to them down there about it, so.
I mean, really, Ron, most all this stuff, eventually, we were gonna have to ante up and do anyways. I mean, the parking lot out here, nothing's been done.
Yeah, that's gotta be done.
Since it was built. I mean, the carpeting and flooring, sooner or later, it's gotta get done. It's,
In the conference room, there's spots that are just, the pad underneath is worn so bad, it is just bubbling under chairs, and it's just, in the, I asked for that because there's a very bad wear pattern of dirt down the hallway, and it is very wavy, it's original to the building 28 years now, and it's held up fantastically, but it's
Do they
gonna
have
be an
runners in
emergency
that?
doing
They
it
got runners in the
soon.
hall out there
used to.
where you walk on?
Yeah, when you leave, just go look.
Oh, there's
It's
the
pretty
black-
bad.
Mats.
Yeah, when that contract's up, we'll have more.
Yeah,
And there's lots of stains
gotta
in
have
the
them washed all.
room too.
Is it carpeting just out there, not in here, right? Because this looks nice in here. Or is it everything?
That includes this room, for continuity. You can't get this kind of carpet anymore, and there's nowhere near this color. So I've got it in my office, and it's a very big contrast when you come in for continuity.
Yeah, the concrete was half of what they look at.
Does it have to be the same?
Brandon?
Got a match?
No.
Why can't you have a different color out there?
Basically, we're gonna
Blue
form
in
it up.
there.
I mean, this
It's
carpet,
just
This is
me.
over the top of
But
it.
it's like the kind
Over
of thing,
outside.
Yeah,
this
so
carpet in here looks just like.
This looks good, and
Yeah.
you don't see it when the doors are shut, and the doors are shut most of the time, right?
Right.
But the parking lot is another year with the frost. Problem.
Yeah.
I'll bet.
We gotta,
I mean, it's all stuff sooner or later, you got
we're gonna have to dig, in the parking lot, you're gonna have to dig a line and put an electric line out to the road.
That's, if you're gonna talk about it, that's the time to do it, no
That is
question.
the
Cut
time
it
to
out
do
there and get it in there before you pave it.
That's what I told Kathy.
But you ain't gotta cut a line that wide, you don't gotta
Yeah.
cut a great big
No,
path out there, you know.
you got a tool that'll cut
Oh, yeah.
Well, you do like the state, after you pave it, then you dig it.
Yeah, put in a new culvert.
Yeah.
Yeah, you-
Put it over by the post office.
I don't know what the zoning or what the law is for how deep it's gotta go, or you put it in conduit anyways.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't gotta go down over a foot and a half, but they gotta saw right through the trencher tool.
Yeah.
But that's the time to do it before you
Well, yeah,
put new blacktop down.
yeah. Well, anyway, let's move along here. We've got a motion to obligate resolution 61. I mean, there's, I don't know, I don't know that we have to,
When it comes down to it, we already lost all this money. If the carpet and flooring for the town hall is giving everybody in Jana, why don't we just cross it off and we finance less of the tractor and we simply budget carpet next year? In whatever increments we want to do. Hell, maybe the court can get one of those grants for carpet. So how about if I restate my motion? Make a motion that we obligate the American Rescue Funds for everything on the list except carpet and flooring, which we'll do on a regular budget, and that will simply reduce the amount that has to be financed on the tractor.
Second.
motion by Councilman Panic, second by Councilman Pacer.
Give me some money.
Okay, yeah, when you get done, repeat it.
Okay.
Well, the thing is
Councilman
if we,
Panic makes a motion to reinstate the obligation of the American Rescue Plan funds for all items except the carpet, and the carpet to be budgeted next year, and it will reduce the financing on the tractor. Is that correct?
yeah,
Okay.
Okay, motion by Councilman Panic, second by Councilman Pacer. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carried. That's item number 8. Item number 12,
He did say that?
resolution 65, accepting the corrective action plan to the Office of the State Comptroller for the audit. Whereas the town of Stafford was audited by the New York State Comptroller's Office, and whereas the town of Stafford has drafted a letter in response to the audit and developed a corrective action plan, that's a CAP, therefore be it resolved that the town of Stafford has drafted a letter in response to the New York State Office of the State Comptroller in regard to the audit with our CAP. The town of Stafford Town Board accepts the letter with the necessary changes for the CAP. Be it further resolved that the town of Stafford will email and mail the letter to the New York State Comptroller's Office immediately. This is the certification, it's all part of it. I, Barbara Radley, Town Clerk of the Town of Stafford, do hereby certify that the aforementioned resolution was adopted by the Town Board of the Town of Stafford on October 14th, 2024, by the following roll call vote, but we still have to have a motion up here to do that.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
She did a good job with that.
You second that?
Yes.
Whether we agreed with it or not.
You just gotta suck it up and like it.
Yeah, do it.
That's why nobody wants the job.
Yeah.
Okay, Councilman Panic?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Deason?
Yes.
Councilman Gleason?
Yes.
Supervisor Kennedy?
Yes. Passed 5-0. That's resolution 60.
Just as an aside, number 5, whether we were in violation or not, our corrective action covers it. But if you look at what the law is, you can take operating funds and do the preliminary work on a water district. It's right in the law. So.
But we didn't say we necessarily agreed with it, but we're just kind
Yes.
of.
But the corrective action covers it anyways.
Only two signed forms. One from Ashley and one from Thank you.
Resolution 66, Stafford Town Board accepts information from Water District 12. Whereas the Town Board has received information regarding Water District 12, and whereas the Town Board reviewed the information, therefore the Town Board of the Town of Stafford has reviewed the information and accepts the information for Water District 12. I mean, that is going to close this month, right? Yes. Any questions? Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pasek, second by Councilman Deason. Roll call vote.
Councilman Panic?
Yes.
Councilman Young?
Yes.
Councilman Deason?
Yes.
Councilman Payson? Supervisor Connect?
Yeah. Passed on a 5-0 vote.
Sorry.
Okay.
Better change your brand of cigarettes.
Or learn how to do a piece of hard candy.
Okay. Item 14, Resolution 67, Amendment 2 to Resolution 1 of 24, adoption of salaries for 2024.
No, 2024.
2024.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, motion to do this?
So move.
Whose salary is changing? Can we ask?
No, you probably should read the whole thing.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Amendment 2 to Resolution 1 of 2024, adoption of salaries for 2024. Resolved, the Stafford Town Board hereby amends Resolution number 1 of 2024 entitled Adoption of Salaries for 2024 to amend as follows. And this is for the zoning enforcement officer from $21,000 per year to $26,400 per year. That's because he's doing the whole job and there's nobody.
Bob, I say we give him 24,000.
Is that the only salary adjustment?
Well, Jerry was making 37, so I don't think 26.4 is bad.
But that's for the remaining, that's what money is remaining,
Right.
that would have been paid to the
Done.
Don Mullen.
But we're not getting any more hours out of him, and we've been working. We can give him some money, he wants some.
Well, he wanted a lot more than that, I can tell you that. Yeah, so, yeah, we've talked about this and the man's doing both jobs. The money is there. He hasn't been getting anything extra since Don Mullen quit, right? So he has been doing both jobs for
That's correct, but he's not putting any more hours in now.
2 months.
He is on weekends when he answers the phone. Does the town pay for his phone?
No.
I told him to stop answering the phone. But he doesn't want to do that because then
A
he's
lot of
taken
this he
away
doesn't-
from the residents.
A lot of this he does at home too,
Oh, well.
not necessarily here all the time.
But at this point, we're giving him $3,000 more, that's $1,000 a month. That's $250 a week.
But he's been doing it since Don left.
Yeah, so you'd have to divide it by since Don left to the end of the year. You can't just say for the last 3 months when he's been doing it. He deserves something for those months he's been doing it and not getting paid.
Now, this is the money that's left at this point.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And
54.
So he gets the entire budget.
he gets, yeah, what's left, which I don't think is too far out of line myself, but
Well, it still comes down to, we're gonna have, that's the whole discussion, at what level should building codes be done? I'm not a fan of doing it at the town level.
we may not have any choice.
No. Actually, we do.
Coming down to that, no, I mean, we may not be able to fill that position, which would leave us with no alternative.
That's what I was gonna ask, can he do both jobs?
He can do both jobs.
Yeah.
In the town of Batavia, they don't want any part of it.
No, I know.
Well, why don't we get past this and
Yeah.
I can you guys wanted me to call all the candidates and tell them that since Gene's retiring, we listed it as zoning, but it will have codes eventually involved in it. And what's their background and would they be interested in codes? And I can give you guys the feedback on that, just generically.
Does he give us a retirement date? Not that I know
Well, he's good for one more.
I thought he was talking about next year.
of.
I thought last year he said this year was gonna be his end. Did he change that?
I thought in the budget meeting he said end of 2025.
Oh.
That's what I understood.
Yeah.
sometime around there.
Which
Mm-hmm.
that's why we put an ad in, that's why we put an ad out there.
So it takes you about 6 months to get trained.
So what happens if somebody doesn't wanna do the code part of it? Then who does that part?
Somebody from the state would have to come in.
No, no. The way the law reads is that if we can't do it, it defaults to the county. Now, what they did in Wyoming County is all the towns defaulted to the county. So now the county handles codes, and when you think about it, then you can, when you have, especially in their case, where they got, think our town is small, think about some of the towns out there, and they're supposed to hire could we take care of this and then have the discussion on building codes afterwards, so we don't get lost here? And I'll cover, what I heard from the candidates. I'll cover what I covered with our county legislator, and maybe look at the history of what they did in Wyoming. So why don't we take care of this business first, and then have the discussion in the future?
So, no, here, I've got a motion.
Do we have a second?
No.
Second.
Offered by Councilman Young, second by Councilman Pace, zoning enforcement officer, for $21,000 per year to $26,400 per year. That's what we're voting on here. Do a roll call.
Councilman Panik,
Yes.
Councilman Young,
Yes.
Councilman Deason,
I guess.
Councilman Pacer,
Yes.
Supervisor Brooks.
Passed. 5-0.
All right, I did call all the candidates that mailed in. One is a Stafford resident. A couple of them are Byron residents, and it reaches as far out as Monroe County. Of the ones that, there's three that seem the most likely. One has been certified, but let his certification lapse, therefore he's got to go through the class. Another one worked for, is it HUD, and he didn't have to be certified. And the third one is a Stafford resident that would have to go through the class anyway. So all of our candidates, we didn't get lucky. There's nobody that's certified. So then I think we need to find out from Gene when he's finally gonna, is the end of 25 is his real date that he mentioned in the budget meeting, and go from there. But on the subject in general, I did call Brooke, and I did say that they should consider doing what Wyoming County did and have building codes at the county level. If you look back in history, the code came about in the early 50s, and it was simply out there for you to adopt. And the way they said it, they said municipalities can adopt it. And all that is so that New York City could have its choice. They could have their own code, or they could adopt the state code. They still have that choice. So then in '84, they decided that everybody has to have it, and made it mandatory. So that's why you built in '84, and your inspector came out of Albany. I built in '86, my inspector came out of Rochester, and then it finally got down to the towns. It's hard to find part-time people with the type of experience needed to do a good job at this. You can see from Batavia, where they have enough activity going on, that they do have full-time and then some part-timers to fill it out. And that could easily be done at the county level. Now, since we passed the zoning laws, we probably would need some type of zoning officer. But it would be far more limited. The head count we have here is to keep up with codes. I just think it would be a better way to go. Now, what you can do is you can simply, let's say we have 0 candidates and we can't do it. When you look at the law, it says if we can't do it, we pass it on to the county. If the county doesn't want to do it, they pass it on to the state. And then you'll be dealing with the guys out of Rochester, which I'll be honest with you, from my experience, they weren't half bad. It's just the lag time you had to.
Well, they probably got more experience, you know.
I wouldn't go.
What's the cost
I
difference?
wouldn't go that far, but my dad
Yeah.
seemed to bond with them, so.
Did Wyoming County now, they went countywide, so their
Yes.
zoning's the same in all?
No.
See, that's where the
Codes.
codes are the
Codes.
same in all the towns. The whole county's the same code.
Well, it's whole state is the same code.
It's all unified code.
Yeah. And that's what we have to do all the training for.
So what's the cost if the county does it to us?
Well, it should be less, but it would instead of us budgeting for it, the county would have to budget for it.
Well, that'll just get you back in our taxes. They'll get paid for that eventually,
Well, it'd be
Well,
in
yeah,
the
it's
county.
out of our tax
It'd
money.
be in your
Yeah,
county
unless
tax.
you get the state to drop it.
Yes.
Is it gonna cost the town more than $26,000 to have the county do it?
Who knows?
We don't know.
Would the county even do it?
Well, then they have to default to the state.
Right, but then what would the state charge?
Maybe it should be a county organization, and they have all of the men work for them. We just pay into them, and they cover the whole county.
I think we should look into it. Of course, Brooke was, he wasn't negative, he just said, why don't you come up with a proposal and I'll put it in front of the county legislature. So he didn't oppose it, didn't endorse it, pushed the work back.
You make the decision, and then he'll let you know.
No, you prep them with the information and
Well, it's getting hard to get, it isn't just this town, every town's having the same problem. Where do you get somebody that's got any experience or any training or anything to take those jobs for that kind of money? Now, if they've had an organization, countywide organization, they probably could pay them a pretty good salary.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
they could come on and do ours and all the surrounding towns. We just pay into that, it'd be a simpler way of doing it.
And it's a lot, again, we saved a lot of money with having our bookkeeper with Batavia.
Oh, sure.
But that's now over.
Mhm.
So we don't want to do the same thing with building codes. That's why, to me, it would be better at the county level. I mean, it's all state mandated. So, and it's another one of those where they make the ruling and we pay for it at a local level.
The other thing I don't like is the fact that it's gonna go from a town to a county, and eventually it'll go from the county to the state. And it's just like the fire department, so they're all having the same problem, and then pretty soon it's gonna be paid fire department, run by the county or run by the city. Then pretty soon the state's gonna come in, and, we're losing our identity as a small,
We've been headed in that direction for years.
pardon?
I say we've been headed in that direction for years.
I know it. It's too bad that people don't wanna work anymore, they don't wanna do anything.
All right,
So anyways, where do we want to go now that I called these people and said, are you interested in codes? And we've got 3 of them that said, yes, I'm interested in learning the code, what do we wanna do with it? Or do we just kinda leave that on the table until we hear from Gene?
Well, as far as I know, we have a year with him, but I'm not, he could change his mind tomorrow. As far as I know, it was a year. But I still think you should follow up with the county program.
You should probably go both avenues, really, Ron.
Well,
Because it takes almost 6 months to get trained.
You know, the other thing is, I don't know when the training is, but you don't wanna miss it. You know, if we miss the training, then they gotta wait till the next session, and we're still without somebody.
One of the other things to look at too is by going with the county organization, if they've got 3 or 4 guys in there, they can send a guy that's from Corrective to Stafford to do ours. Because sometimes you get hard feelings with our own local person going out and critiquing another guy that's building something. Now I got a little argument there, it's like we've had before. Or if that person was from the other side of the county, he has no ties to these people, and
and once you reach that level, all their records are automated.
yeah. That's something.
Because right now, if we, even if we wanted to hook up with Batavia, I think the expectation is that we would buy the software.
Yeah.
So there could at least be an interface point here. So, but yeah, this, I mean, just to me, if the state wanted to impose that big of a code, they should have just did the whole ball of wax.
If Gene decided tomorrow to quit, we would have to make a decision.
We wouldn't have any choice.
Right.
Well,
We should do it
have,
as a backup, you know.
we have an agreement with
investigate.
Batavia that they're our backup. That agreement's still there, it's been there a long time. So if, you won't be slowed down in your project if Gene walked out tomorrow. Because we'll ask Batavia to cover it. Now, since we have to pay out something every time, it might get a little expensive, so it behooves you to get a replacement. But I'm just saying, in general, it just strikes me that I think Wyoming did it right.
Okay. Resolution 68, authorizing budget transfers for 2024. Resolved, the Stafford Town Board hereby authorizes the following budget transfers. And they're all listed here. I think you have, yes, you do. We do this every year. You're a little short in one fund, so you take it out of a fund that has more money and you transfer it.
Yeah. So moved.
Jim, did you do that?
It was backwards.
Oh, wow, okay.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Kane. Authorizing the budget transfers for 2024. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. John Batavia letter. Addressed to me, and it's entitled Shared Services. To whom it may concern, the town of Stafford and the town of Batavia previously entered into a financial clerical services agreement between the towns of Batavia and Stafford. Pursuant to paragraph 9 of this service agreement, written notice is hereby given that the town of Batavia intends to terminate this agreement effective December 31st, 2024. Commencing on January 1st, 2025, the town of Batavia would be willing to enter into a similar agreement with all the other terms and conditions that are in the present services agreement, with the exception of the town of Batavia would only provide payroll services. The cost would be $3,000 per year with a limit of a total of 60 hours per year. Please advise as soon as possible whether or not the town of Stafford Board would like to proceed regarding payroll services only. Now, we had somebody come in and do the whole thing, right?
Not yet.
Well, we have a bid, don't we, of,
Yeah. And we have a meeting the 17th.
Something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a meeting with a representative from that company to find out what they're offering and what their services entail. So,
when I read over what they have, you do the contract and it's quarterly. So the advantage there is that if we do find a better path, perhaps hiring our own, it's a real straightforward way out of it. So
well, it's a quarterly, that was gonna be a question that I would
Yeah.
ask the rep.
yeah, it's right in their
Okay.
estimate. They seem to do everything that.
What
Just
service do
reading
they
it over.
provide up there? You make out your own payroll?
Yep.
You do your budget?
I do some of it. They do everything.
So they're the people that do that.
They do, they take care of all of our invoices. They take care of all of the reports that have to go out to the state. I don't know if there's a county one or not, but primarily all the state reports that are required. And it's really been a great deal because it wasn't that many. It was, you go all the way back, the last time we had a person there, our cost was still within a few $1,000s of having our own. That doesn't even count healthcare. So, and then that's,
We used to make out our own. My father used to do his own budget and his own payroll. It's got more complicated since.
Yeah.
No, they do, the bookkeepers, you name it, they do it, Gary.
Oh, I'm going
The state retirement, the disability insurance, the healthcare insurance,
All this
Stuff
budget
through-
stuff came from them.
the budget stuff, and all the stuff with the state controller's office, and
I get letters in the mail from my insurance companies every damn other day. I get a letter in the mail about this changing and that changing.
I mean, from the outside looking in, oh, it's not a big deal, just write some checks. Well, no, it's not. It's,
My
you
father
know,
used to go on a
it's-
week's vacation up in the mountains, and that's what he did for a week every day, make out the budget.
I mean, it just,
It was hard work.
but even initially with Batavia, they were looking to shift a lot of it wouldn't be the thing where they came here
No.
every week. It would be where you'd have to have an interface with them here. So, and it's gonna be the same thing with an outside company. They aren't gonna come here. Everything will be electronic.
Every payroll is different. I mean, deductions are different, insurances are different.
Don't forget, Steve submits his payroll, he submits his budget. It's getting it on paper with the correct withholdings and correct payout that the bookkeepers handle. From what I saw of their presentation, but it's gonna be more.
Have you advertised out to possibly bring it in-house to compare?
We've gotten a few people that were interested that we reached out to, didn't we? And it was expensive.
it's kind of word of mouth, Kathy, because all the people that do municipal bookkeeping
Keep in-
all
All
talk
know
to
each other, exactly.
So,
Cause like one
It's-
town, you could
it's-
share it with another town type thing.
Yeah,
Well, not share, but,
We talked to two about that, and
The problem is people retire out, they're just
no,
done.
yeah,
They-
yeah.
You get somebody who retires that did 4 towns, so now there's 4 towns looking. There's another one retires that did 5 towns, now there's 5, you know.
Realistically, we started to see that when we got a new assessor, where
Right.
it's assessment companies
I mean, we-
are filling the void, especially if you're small enough where you, a full-time person doesn't work.
I mean, you're fortunate with Laurie, that was, very fortunate with her, but to think that you're gonna find another one after her,
it's hard.
highly doubt it.
So, actually, we don't want to do this.
Probably not
What's that?
do that letter.
Oh, it's just FYI.
Do we wanna do that?
We have somebody else.
That's just information, that letter.
Yeah, the letter's just for information.
Well, why don't we table this till after the meeting on the 17th, and then we'll see what they,
Yeah.
because then you'll have 2 entities that you have to interface with. Town of Batavia for payroll only,
Yeah.
and then for everything, and then how does,
I don't think we have to do that. We've got another. All right, is there a motion to table it?
So move.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Pacer, second by Councilman Dees to table the, information here for the town of Batavia. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Now we have the Genesee County Visitors Guide. We've always done this, but what did this cost us, $1,000?
Yeah,
1,800.
this year it's 26. Did we pay anything?
Yeah, it's a community paid for municipalities. No, it's 1,800.
So it is.
Do we gain anything from it? For the town?
I'm not sure the town does. Maybe some businesses in the town, but I don't think the town reaps anything from it.
I think the only 2 businesses in the town that would benefit is the Red Osier and the golf course.
Is this the one that Mom used to go out and get sponsors for like
Mhm.
half of it?
Yes.
So the reason that it costs more now is because you don't have somebody going out
Well,
and asking for sponsors to cover the other half.
the lady from the tourism said she was gonna go out and reach out to people to get reimbursed for it. Did she?
She
Did we get any money back?
We
The
wouldn't.
town paid 1,800, as I understood,
we-
and then she was going to,
Yeah, that's if you get the other 800 from
Lauren from the chamber, or from this visitor guide, she got the $800. She solicited that because Linda wasn't able to. And we paid the 1,000. It's 1,800,
so they only got 800.
yes. And I believe she's still willing to do that. I didn't get a positive from her so far this year.
Do we know who paid to sponsor that from the town? I'm gonna guess the Red Osier probably did.
Whoever
Our
sent
mom
it.
literally got a list of all the businesses and literally knocked on everybody's door. Every business in the town of Stafford.
And I believe, am I wrong, Amy? I believe that the Visitors Guide people have that list, and they went with the same.
I don't know. I don't know who
On
those.
some of my conversation, that's how I understood it, is she had that list, and she was going to do the same.
Seems I recall 4 to 6 from looking at the guy. You had the Red Osier, you had the Apple Farm, you had a few others.
My guess, I don't know, but my guess is they're the ones that paid the extra 800, each a portion. And didn't we budget $1,000 already for it in the budget? I think we did.
I'm not, it wasn't specific to this, was it, Barb? It was just, promotions or whatever, not specific to this.
You may be right. I'm feeling that for sure.
So where are we?
I don't know that.
See, military. What's
So
it
we're
say?
going to
do the,
advertise and
not promotions, but,
What's that under the table, so
I said no.
you can't hear them down here.
I'm not sure the town benefits from it whatsoever.
We don't either, and we think it's frivolous at this point in time.
We might be better off spending our 20, how much is it?
1,800.
$1,800.
$1,800 on something that the
Yeah, put
whole
more
town
flags
would
up.
benefit from.
They do as much as this would, more actually.
They get a big chunk of it.
You'd see them all the time.
Just to be sure, did your mom do it as an extension of like
Hey,
the garden
historical-
club or the
I
historical
think historical
society?
society, because I think it had a spot in about like the,
Because originally, eons ago, it was like split, half town and half
Yeah, it was split. That's what I remember.
yeah. Makes
whatever the society is there.
Mhm.
And then she got donations to bring the town side down.
Well, if that's
And then
the
the
case,
museum paid most of it.
when does this have to be in by?
We missed it.
Yes.
Missed it.
Well, to me, why don't we find out from the historical society if this is something they want to continue?
There isn't one.
Gary missed the dino bus.
Do we have one still?
Yeah.
We're trying.
Sure.
I got a call on that gravestone there, so.
So I assume we're not going to do.
I don't know.
Who ran our last meeting, the Historical Society? Who was in charge?
There wasn't.
Sue Briggs. Sue Briggs did the talk, right? Sue Briggs and Sandy and
Say what?
Graves, no?
They did the
Sue-
tour, right?
Well, you were involved with that, weren't you?
Well, we're to get it started, we gotta get the
Yeah.
That one was there.
yeah, so
voted in first, we're gonna have a meeting tomorrow night.
Because I think I asked. what-
so who's trying to get the historical back up and running? Gary, Amy's gonna stay involved, right? Donna, myself, Sue Briggs, Laura. She's helping us
Yeah,
Colleen.
figure it all out. Colleen Williams, and then Colleen, the historian, which I had a question for you guys on her. And then Phyllis is still involved somewhat.
So,
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of us, and we keep trying to get more people
the
involved.
majority is sitting here.
Yep,
Well, first
What
thing
do
you
you
gotta
think
do,
about putting money in towards this?
can't do a thing until we get a board of directors set up, that's a state law.
I
But you're
understand
just
that, but
asking
I
our
asked the
opinion.
question.
Yeah,
but I would say yes, and I would redesign that whole thing. I have a business in Stafford. I have never been approached to them. I'm trying not to work so hard, so I don't know if I really want to promote my business, to be honest. I'm trying to retire, but
On the flip side,
on the flip side, it's
Stone
good for the
repair.
town. Huh?
the Historic Society always gave $1,000 to cemetery stone repair, and the town had 1,000. Is that still,
See, we don't know what the Historical Society has done. This is the
'cause
thing.
there was
We
always
need-
an agreement we had with Linda. You guys gave 1,000, we had 1,000 for stone repair in the cemetery.
Yeah.
Or we can just sit this year out,
It used to be the same thing with this. and
because it's
then
still
it
in the budget right now.
transitioned
And
To,
we've called nobody, but,
You're gonna have to till they form a,
yeah,
you know.
So we can
form a
just-
historic
That's what we're trying to
society,
get,
know
we're
what's
trying to
going
get
on.
the board of directors going. Once we got them, then we can.
But I would say anything that they did in the past, we would continue. We're not looking to change it, we're looking to revitalize it.
but for this year, we'll sit it out,
Yeah.
because nobody can write a check, right?
Nope.
Right,
Yeah.
you have to decide
That's how we
if
get
it's
that
story
done.
or something that's
After tomorrow night, we'll know
right
more.
on this, for the town, I mean, is that something
We're
that's,
late on this
if,
thing.
if I sure the stones that are dilapidated deserve to be fixed?
Yeah, well, I mean, we can
Other than these.
just sit this year out, then next year.
But head
Get
on
back
that
in.
lawnmower.
It's right there.
We're trying. I wouldn't see where we'd want to change anything. Once we get more of the paperwork to see what they've done, there is money in the bank account, so
Can use that for.
I don't think
For what in the summer?
let's not even-
$2,000 would break the
As soon as we can get
board together.
we have to get this stuff out of the bank first. We gotta get the key and we gotta get the numbers and the codes, and then we can enter more.
Sounds like we're late on this.
We'll just let it ride this
I
year.
think we'll just not do anything.
We'll
with
just
it
not
this
do it
year.
this year.
Pass on it this year, and when we have everything together again, then we can go forward,
When this
redesign it.
group, when this group
We use it,
reorganizes,
and
and they had
Bill,
money,
you guys,
Right.
maybe then we'll do something.
but
And we could always
use
come
that
back in
just for
April and say,
cultural
here's the money, right?
budget, So it's not specific.
well, if it's
to
spent
this.
this year, it's gotta be paid this
So
year,
we can use that
because it
for,
screws up the budget.
I mean, I don't mean, I mean in 25,
Yeah, yeah,
I'll
right.
get ahold of
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
get ahold of them tomorrow.
yeah.
not this year. There's, nothing's gonna happen this year with it.
Yeah, so if you're gonna do a sign, that's the time.
But it's
Want to dig a trench all the way across?
Absolutely.
it won't be the first time that the laying the wire for lay the conduit and the wire
We can put it on with this do, it's already done.
as part of the project.
To the flagpole.
But I mean, can we authorize, who would do that?
But I don't know if you do a communication.
Well, run a trench from the basement here, all across the parking lot.
Oh,
So we can have a sign that we can change and light and all of that.
Whoever does the parking lot would do that.
I don't know if Guy Clark's got one that big or not, but they have, they're gonna cut a path about that wide.
Yeah,
Joe, just include it in the specs for the repave,
Well, I was
to lay
waiting for him to
utilities
talk.
out to the road.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Control wires and power wires.
last year when we talked about it, I have all the brochures. I called, after the fact, I have a girl from Florida that calls me all the while, I don't know how we're coming with it. But I didn't want to get in front of him, he's got a program or something he wants to bring up, and they have with a satellite, that's how they looked at our front yard. So we thought at first maybe put it back here, but it's too far away from the road. So if they put it out by the road. And they looked, and they told us where it would be a good spot, and I've got the brochures to bring in, you can look at them, and you can, I mean, they're not cheap, if you get a good one, you know, but you can get them that, you can change the sign from your house with your phone if you want, or she can do it from the office, right, and you don't even have to go out here.
Oh, you're not gonna make her go out with the letters and change the letters
On a ladder, yeah.
on the ladder or, you
No, but when
know?
they get,
in the wind?
whatever she's got to say, whatever.
No, this is it.
Well, don't forget, depending on how much the paving costs.
I can't say much yet, because I haven't got the
Yeah,
committee going, but when I get that committee going, then I'll let you know.
no, but I can easily see where we could add for future use, having power and.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to put that out there anyway, as long as you're gonna pave it, that's the time to do it. And it's not that big a deal, I mean, even if you don't get it into the basement right away, you get it right up here to the front of the building, you know, and get the conduit in the ground and the wire in it. I don't think they can get it off the pole out there, you'd have to put another meter, wouldn't you, have to have a meter.
Probably not.
No, it'd be best off getting power from here, it'll be best laid when they
Yeah.
repave.
Get rid of the
And
gazebo.
if for some reason the price of asphalt goes down, maybe the whole damn sign can go
Just
on.
wondering.
Yeah,
On
that's right.
sidewalk.
There's no plans to pave that this year, is there?
Out here?
Yeah.
No, so we got next.
Well, in the next couple of years, we.
Yeah.
we
You gotta
commit-
use it by the
Pretty soon,
26th.
Those cracks out there, he knows,
It'll
you
get
start
done.
getting water down in there and it starts freezing, you're gonna lose it. Then you gotta start over again. Cause it isn't down real thick to begin with. We never done anything with it, just sealed it. I don't think, yeah, I guess they did seal it once.
Probably the one piece of information we need to know for sure before they pave it is what has to go underground to run the sign.
And where.
That in a heartbeat, I can have that all, information going.
You need to decide where to, because if you put it out where the grass is by the road, you're gonna get slush and all kinds of stuff on it. You know, you need to move it over to the north side of the parking lot, you know, over by the post office area, away from the road a little.
I mean, you could actually set it, of course, it screws up the snowplow, I mean, you could actually set it just inside the parking lot out there, then somebody will run into it.
Yeah.
We have power to gazebo, put it over by there.
Say what?
There's power to the gazebo,
Not
put it
not
over that
control.
way.
Yeah, but control
Yeah,
it by
you could put it on the lawn this way,
Keep it away from the road.
we'd have to go across the parking lot.
Yep.
Where do they control that from, here?
Mhm.
Or
Yeah.
back there for that?
Yeah, and it's hooked up to the generator.
Well, I don't know what,
Andy, would
you
you
got
find
something you
out?
wanna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
about those signs? Or
Yeah.
You are,
Wally?
for the
You
signage.
are. Sign is all one thing here. Go ahead.
Actually, since it was probably going to take quite a while to get the electronic sign in place, how does the town feel about either having a sign that hangs under the sign out there, like we had for the museum, where we had a little board that said open, or signs that have a hinge on the top? They hold themselves up, just signs that say like, town board meeting tonight, or museum open, or historical society meeting tonight, or garden club tonight, or that sort of thing. I'm not sure how the town would feel about, putting a sign out by the side of the road to say that something is gonna happen tonight.
There used to be hooks on that one out there. It used to say when the museum was open. It was like 20 years ago. They used to hang a sign open. But that's. it's
I
been
mean, a
long
lot of
gone.
the expense on putting that sign up is that they put up those fancy pillars, brick and
Oh,
stone
yeah.
and all that, which you don't need all that, you don't need that. You put a steel pipe in the ground, or, yeah, pillars, however, what you wanna do it, that's what this lady was telling me, she says that a lot of it is in all the decorative stuff that you put on it, the fancy signs, but this book will show you, and she's from Florida, but there's another outfit in Buffalo that makes them in Buffalo. And he said he would come out, so this was last year when we were talking about it a little bit, but,
Who would actually install that conduit?
well, they'll do it, but we can do it ourselves a lot cheaper than you're gonna have them people do it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm not too sure, but what's the big electrician there over in Leroy? I almost think he's got a trencher that would do that. It's not a real complicated system. They got a computer out there that they plug the wires into it, and it'll come into a box in the office in there, and electric goes to it, that's it. You program it any way you want. I mean, you can have it so it changes the wording during the day all by itself, or unlimited, what you can do with it, but it's how much you wanna spend. The one that I looked at that would, on here, I think she was talking about, was like 20,000. 20 to 25,000, but now the firemen looking at one over there, they want 40, 50,000 for the thing they got. That's crazy, there's nothing wrong with the one they got.
Well, the one that Oliver's, you gone by Oliver's Candies and see what they have?
Yeah,
That's a $60,000.
yeah, that's a big
Sign.
sign too.
It's a two-sided sign.
Yeah, and that's what you'd want on here, you need it both sides of it, so it's
Yeah.
coming from either way.
Can
I'll
you
bring
get
the
that,
stuff.
can you get that information for us, Gary? Or
Huh?
can you get that information and bring it to next
I'll-
meeting, or,
I'll call it tomorrow.
yeah?
Yeah, I have the,
Well, I think it's something that the town needs, we should have.
it's an
We
expensive
got
thing, but I
money
think
in
it's well
ARPA.
worth it, because you're getting into a lot of different meetings and a lot of stuff that people should know about.
Something going on here all the time.
The Daily News, I call them and they get about 50 people that get the Daily News, so they don't want them much. But, yeah, I'll get ahold of them, get some.
Were you done, Andy?
Well, does anybody have any opinion about putting signs by the side of the road to announce a meeting?
No, I guess we gotta find out more about the signs and what they cost and how we can do it before we decide where.
He's talking
You
the
meant
wooden
temporary.
I
ones.
mean,
You mean temporary?
Two pieces of wood held together.
Until we get a big
The
sign.
sandwich sign,
Yeah.
like a sandwich board.
Like a
Funny,
sandwich
they
board.
Like, look at our building, they don't even come out here.
Yeah.
Look at it, tell you where they, she told us right where we should place it,
Yeah.
from Florida. So, that's it.
Well, I guess that's,
Well, he wants to know if you want to put 2 pieces of wood up.
sure.
Well, something like, it's,
Say-
the sandwich boards
That's all
are,
you need. 2 6x6s in the ground, put a sign on it, you got it.
well, you can either hook it up in here, or you can go out and make the changes out there.
Yeah.
Oh, Bluetooth, remote now.
Well, right now, there's no power out there, so.
Pardon?
There's no power out there, man.
No.
Anyplace
What
else.
does it go over by the post office?
Yeah, we came from
The lights on over there,
the
anyway.
gazebo there, you can go up to, you can go to Guy Clark's place, rent that little trencher, we've used that with a golf cart a million times.
Yeah.
That'll walk right down through there and lay the wire right in it, and you're done.
Okay, if we have a manual sign, we'll change the manual sign.
Yeah.
Whatever group's meeting. Let somebody on their team do it.
They have those in there too, manual sign, but in that book. Then somebody got to go out in the snow and change it.
well, I think what Andy's talking about is just one of those sandwich signs
Yeah, I
that you
know.
put out that morning,
Yeah.
that the historical
Don't they put one out for voting?
company,
Huh?
Yes.
Don't they
Yes.
put one out for voting?
yep,
Yeah, a sign like that.
Yeah, you just can't advertise, you just put the voting in.
Yeah, vote here today or whatever, yeah, I thought so.
Oh, yeah, need that. We can announce Bob's birthday on it, and everything.
Ooh.
That's not going on much football games.
So where do we stand with this thing? We've done a lot of talk here, but are we gonna?
Well, Gary Snell's gonna get the information and bring it back to the
I'll
board.
have that here.
Yep.
Maybe I'll get it here.
do you have a sample of the signs you're looking at?
It would just.
You won't need it that night.
Same time, the 11th.
Can't
I-
do nothing with
I
that.
have
I'll
it.
bring it to the next board
It
meeting.
would just need to get repainted.
There's
It
nothing
just
gonna,
says open.
you just gotta budget it, but I mean, it'll
We'd
be
have to
for next
repaint
year.
mine
anyway.
and
ARPA funds.
we'll bring it next meeting.
30% off if you get solar, federal tax credit.
I know where some of the money will come from.
All right. Anything else? Steve, you got anything?
I already covered the stuff I was gonna cover too.
Mhm. Right.
No, also.
We're gonna go into executive session.
Authorize to pay the bills
I go to the executive session. I'll pay the bills first, then the executive session. Make a motion to pay general fund, number 10, in the amount of $28,354.73.
Second.
by Councilman Eason, second by Councilman Casey, to pay, what was that? $28,364.73. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right.
I actually.
Make a motion to pay highway number 10 in the amount of $67,420.
Second.
Weather channel.
Councilman Eason, $67,420.
I'm on a moon phase. I don't know what's on.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Make a motion to pay capital projects number 10 in the amount of $2,388 even.
Second.
Towards that side.
Motion by Councilman Eason, second by Councilman.
Might not fly, but.
Capital projects in the amount of $2,388, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Eason, second by Councilman Pacer to go into executive session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Carried.
Hey, Ron, where do you, advertise for the code person? Do they have to be a Stafford resident?
It helps, yes,
But they don't have to be.
they don't have to.
So where do you guys advertise?
Where'd you advertise the last time?
Wednesday. It was already advertised for the penny.
Don't we go like on Indeed or anything like that? I mean, I don't know anybody who's gonna look at the penny saver for a job. Everybody I know goes to Indeed or,
Goes right.
Indeed.com. It's
Indeed.
Indeed.
It's a
.com.
job. It's a job.
It's a job placement, yeah.
Like Rochester Help Wanted, there's tons of them.
I mean, wouldn't maybe we get a better group of people if it was advertised a little better?
A lot of them, like code enforcement, bookkeeping, they all talk with them themselves because they got an association.
For opening
So
the
they,
bank accounts for the escrow.
like
But
word
you
of
never-
mouth,
But
you
you
know?
never know. I mean, if you've got all these people who don't have any experience and are all gonna have to take all these tests and classes and everything else, why not spread the word? You never know who you might find. I mean, I wouldn't think to look at Batavian, I wouldn't think to look at any of those places. Me, I'm gonna go to the websites that I know encompass everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I use Indeed for our business, so I'm familiar with it.
I mean, just,
The key is to be